Good evening, everyone. Good evening to everyone at the cafe, to the people who are going to watch this on YouTube. The camera is right in front of us. Hello, everyone. So this is something that we are doing it for the first time. And I think before I move to the main introduction part, let me tell you one thing, that this cafe was possible because all of us were friends who thought of this cafe as a dream project, and that's why it was possible. Similarly, these guys have been friends for 16 years, and that's why they've been making music for 16 years, as Weapon Shop, as Dan Pitte, as Underground Authority, a lot of bands. I may miss out some acts here and there. Adil and Paloma. So of course, a lot of associated acts. So I would like to welcome Adil, Sourish, and Bubbla of Underground Authority here at Kaffee Am Salzsee. I'm your host, Wriddhaayan, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to chat with these guys right here while you're having your food, because it's a very inspirational story, and the whole idea behind this video podcast is to, portray people from the city who have done really good, who have made it big, who are inspiratory of figures, like in the sense that you look up to them, learn from them, and also these are the people who actually make you believe that, yes, you can chase your dreams. Thank you so much, guys, for coming here. First of all, this is something which is very informal. And I know you guys for more than a decade now. Bubbla and I were in the same college, and these guys used to hang out in the premises. There were a lot of jam sessions. First of all, what do you guys think about this cafe culture in Calcutta? Because you guys have been here forever. You've been touring, I know, but I was not in the city when this cafe boom happened. But you guys were here. You saw it happen in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the cafe boom and the cafe culture in Calcutta that you see now.
At this point of time, even we are not very well acquainted with the cafe culture, but there are a lot of cafes who are promoting new music, young talent, new bands, new artists, duos, trios, even stand-up is a big thing in cafes. There are certain cafes that are doing much more of this than others, but it is definitely a culture which has caught on. From pubs, people have moved to cafes, and people are doing a lot of shows. There are different kinds of shows that are happening. However, there's still a dearth of it somewhere, because people either get stuck to the same artists, or they are not very ambitious to go beyond a certain point. So that's where it stands, and it's not really a place which is very lucrative for musicians as far as money is concerned. It's something that we always focus on, because it's an art form. You won't be making money out of it, because there's always been this segregation that do you do music for money, or do you do music because you love music? We don't believe in that segregation. So that's pretty much it.
So yeah, I feel that the cafe culture has really caught on because the age group of people that are going out has kind of come down. I think when we were kids, going out would be a very dinner nighttime thing. And then, not when we were kids, when our parents were kids. When we were kids, cafe culture was definitely there. But then the good thing is that, cafes have become affordable. Along with that, a lot of cafe level entertainment has increased. There's stand-up, there's music, there are games, there are open mic nights. Open mic nights is, I think, one of the best things that have come out of cafe culture, because you discover a lot of new talent that you otherwise probably wouldn't even bother to go and check out. And I would love to come to a cafe like this and, just for the decor and just to check out the food. And because it's, it's reasonable, it takes very little part. You don't have to dedicate an entire day or night to it. You just dedicate a couple of hours to going somewhere and checking it out. And the ambience is very important. You make friends with the people who own the cafes and the staff, and then it becomes like a small little community in itself.
Thank you so much for your kind words about this cafe, because since we are very new, I'm going to come to that later on. But the main reason why I called you guys here, all of us should know about this thing, that making music itself is a very difficult thing, and making music for 16 plus years is even more difficult. We have seen a lot of bands break up, a lot of bands go through a lot of rough waters. It's inevitable. That can happen when you are working as a team. There'll be disagreements, there'll be fights, but then these three have stuck together for 16 years. And I'm going to start from your school days. Okay?
Yeah.
Because this is not going to be an interview that you have done before. It's going to be very informal. I'm going to straight ask you that, when was the first time you three met? I know he was in a different school.
Yeah.
I've done my homework. So you guys were in the same school. So how did that happen? And how did you find Sourish? And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was going through a phase which I don't know people go through anymore. This whole wannabe rockstar hobo phrase. And Adil was always popular. There was something about him. Adil has been popular since class 5. I saw him playing on stage in La Martiniere for girls. He was actually called on by one of the guitarists of La Martiniere for boys, who was a big fan of Adil then. Very honestly speaking, he was the only guitar player I saw who was sounding and playing the songs the way they were. So I said, you know what, I want to play guitar like you. And he said, that's not possible.
The real reason that Bubbla asked me to learn how to play guitar is because he wanted to impress a girl.
One girl, yeah.
There was no secondary reason. Everything that happened after that was a byproduct of that not working out.
Adil's been my teacher. Like, he's the guy who taught me. I used to go to his place, and then one day our bassist left, and Adil said the band is over, and I said no, if the band is over, then how are you going to go ahead? So he said, we don't have a bass player, and I said, we don't need a bass player. So he said, see, either you play bass or the band is over. So I said, okay, fine, I'll play bass. So we went on for a while, and then I joined Danpite with him, and Danpite's drummer left. And we had heard of this guy from MP Bubbla. We had seen him in Scholastic Beats Planet.
Memory, huh?
It's a very interesting story of how Sourish got inculcated in the band. So music has always been something very serious with us. We've not been people who are like, oh no, we'll figure it out. So we called him and we said, these are 3 songs we were going to play in this fest in ISM Dhanbad. But we told him that if you don't play the songs correctly, we'll leave you there and come back. So
that's like pretty much intimidating
yeah,
him.
he still says it, that it was a threat. It was a threat. He was so scared that he still mentions it till date.
One thing that, really makes me wonder that, musicianship is fine. I mean, you guys must be having other interests as well, which are common interests, because for sticking along for so long, I mean, you need to have the same love for food, same love for movies, same love for traveling together maybe. I mean, any such interests, common interests besides music that you guys have?
Music part is such a big part of our lives that when that is going on and after we are done with it, it's so exhausting that we hardly even meet other than that.
Yeah.
But because the music thing is so, it takes so much from us that on holidays we're just by ourselves. And so, it's kind of like, because we spend so much time together, it's become like second nature to at least the first thing that I think about when I have an idea creatively, I'll call it Bubbla. Or if I think about something, maybe if we can do something like, with life generally, like buy something, I'll call Sourish. It's like that. So it's become like a very easy communication kind of a situation.
So you guys were talking about some new music and things like that. I mean, I had a very brief conversation with Bubbla over the telephone, but I would like you to speak about it a little bit. And you said that we're going to do a couple of songs which it's not a US song per se, but then the songs that we think that you can relate to, and maybe songs that you are making now. So if you could just throw light on that.
We had been, like Sourish and me both, had been telling Adil for a while that you should sing, because all vocalists who have ever sung with us, Adil has been the person who's corrected them, made them grow, whatever it is. Because as far as music is concerned, he's the most knowledgeable person in the group. So we always used to say ki, you should sing. But then finally, he started working on this project, and this is completely his thing. He's come up with a few songs that are not recorded yet. That's it.
We would love to hear that, right?
And I'll just hand it over to Adil.
A little about this. I have been playing rock music my whole life, but I never, other than Underground Authority, I could never, like also Weapon Shop, to be very honest. Every band that I have...
Killer band.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reason why I personally got into new music, because Bubbla once made me listen to modern rock and I hated it. But after many years of creative block, I actually came up with a sound, thought about it, spoke to these guys about it, and then together we made something. It may not sound the way that I have imagined it in my head and the way we've practiced it, but we'll try to do some of it, and this is the first time we'll be performing it.
It won't sound the way it is supposed to sound because drums, bass are not playing.
Of course, I understand that. Yeah.
But
It's going to be a very raw version of the song.
yeah. Name of this song is Unkahi. It's Hindi. It's my first attempt at writing also, so let's see.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. आँखों में है नमी, बातों की है कमी, ढूंढूं मैं हर कहीं, फिर भी तुम ना मिली, तेरे लिए फिरूं इन राहों में, बातें मेरी रह गई अनकही। आँखों में है नमी, बातों की है कमी, ढूंढूं मैं हर कहीं, फिर भी तुम ना मिली, तेरे लिए फिरूं इन राहों में, खोया रहूं तेरी ख्यालों में, बातें मेरी रह गई अनकही, बातें मेरी रह गई अनकही, बातें मेरी रह गई अनकही, बातें मेरी रह गई।
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Awesome guys, right?
Thank you.
So
Thanks a lot.
you guys actually performed this song, I mean, for the first time.
For the first time.
So
It's not even ready. It's just
we'll keep it till there. We're going to wait for them to announce, record, and then we're going to talk about it definitely. But it's a brilliant song. And
It's a very beautiful song.
one great thing about Adil is that he's constantly trying to do new things.
With Adil, there's something which is unique, which is like it's not about songs for him. Unless and until he has a complete vision, a sound, he's not going to start working on it. That's why every project that we have been a part of, he's been the primary architect of it. The whole, this is how it should sound. And he thinks from the perspective of, say, a guitar player as well as a producer. So it's something that is very unique. So this song is not going to sound anything like this on record.
I'm sure.
So that's the whole point of it. And that's what blows my mind.
People always ask each other in this circuit, what happened to Weapon Shop? So I'm going to ask the same question. What happened? You guys were going great. I mean, suddenly you guys were not there, and then a new lineup came in, UA came in, India's Got Talent happened. But Weapon Shop was kick-ass. What happened to Weapon Shop?
Mainly, I think Weapon Shop was a great band for college students. But then people grow up and they have other priorities. The other members in the band, like our vocalist Saugat and Shubhradeep Das, they went into the whole non-musical profession line right after college, and we stayed with music. That's it. Nothing else went wrong. The band, I mean, we still have the potential to, like, organize and do a gig right now. We would love to, actually. We thought of music very differently then. It was only about making. Now it's about sustenance, it's about returns, it's about a lot of things.
It's more of like running it as a business, and that's something that we constantly keep telling young musicians, that you cannot just be making music for the sake of art. You have to, if you like doing this and if you want to continue doing this, you'll have to figure out a way to earn a livelihood from it, because you not only will be answerable to your parents, that will only be a phase. After a point of time, you'll have expenses that you have to pay for.
True.
So if you can pay for that playing music, you are successful.
Quickly moving on to Underground Authority. I mean, India's Got Talent. It was a big show. All of us know that, and we guys saw you on television. We were very proud of it, because the guys who I meet underneath Barista in Deshapriya Park, I'm seeing them on television. So that was great. So when did you realize that, okay, we are big? When was that? When did that light bulb moment happen?
The last 2 years, when the pandemic hit, every artist in the world realized that they're not big, because being recognized on the street does not pay your bills. Whatever we got in terms of fame did not help us in any way. But I think the thing that has really helped us is our consistent performances, the fact that people still want to hear us, and we are glad that we are not just names, that we have a functional role in this industry, that we are required to play at gigs which not only give us money, which also entertain the people, and it serves a functional purpose. And I think that is the main reason that we have stayed. Because nowadays you can be part of a viral reel and be famous. Yes. But it's sustenance that matters, and I think that's what hit us in the last 2 years. That even after 2 years of complete poverty, people still want to hear us.
Yeah.
They still remember us. They want to see you. They want to see your performance. So that is obviously a big thing for us.
Yeah, to see you guys.
Yeah, the recall value. Seeing me for like before 2 years when we played at the college, and then again calling us. That.
And
Yes.
the problem is that whenever we considered ourselves big, we ran into so much shit. And I kid you not, there was a point of time when this was nothing but just considering yourself big. We threw a party which completely drained the band of all its finances. That's when we thought we were big. It was the biggest mistake. We booked Princeton, we called everybody, and we spent a lot of money on it, which we shouldn't have. Also, the band has faced a lot of trouble over the years. There was a point of time when all our money was going into lawyers, because we were in this whole conflict with, we were facing lawsuits and stuff like that. So these are real things.
Of course.
And at that point of time, you're thinking that I didn't get into music to do all of this, but at the same time, like Adil and me literally sat down and made our case.
If I may ask, I mean, why did that happen? I mean, what?
It was
Only
just
if
a
you
lot
want to
of
answer,
see,
no
the
pressure.
thing is it's very difficult to compress it and say. So I would just say it's a lot of wrong decisions.
People were because in our industry, you don't know if the person's, say, probably sitting listening to us right now, whether that person is capable of giving us business, which would really be great for our future, or whether it would be terrible. So similarly, in Bombay, we were approached by an extremely wealthy person, and which turned out to be one of the biggest fiascos in the country because of like that person's actions. But then, a whole lot of money was involved. We agreed to be a part of it because we did not see the crazy yet. But then once we had signed and we had started working with an American label, then the craziness started, and we had to literally run away for our lives.
Our song was charting #1 on American radio without our name on it. So
What are you saying? How?
Yeah, that happened. And after that, we were facing lawsuits for above, say, $20,000-$30,000. He was sending us means legal notices from one of the biggest law firms in Bombay.
Right.
And
It was like a movie. So basically, we knew we were being we were being exploited. Everyone knew that we were being exploited.
We couldn't do anything about it.
So the guy who was suing us, whose lawyer was the biggest entertainment lawyer in the country,
who's basically gotten Sonu Nigam out of his means contract, was suing us.
She had a change of heart and called us and told us how to win the case. It was like a movie, man. But then it worked out for us.
We got a lawsuit on my birthday at 2 in the night, saying that you cannot go do a show. That morning we had a flight to catch at 6, and you cannot get on that flight, and you cannot go to Assam and do the show because you will be sued. So one of his brother's friends, thank God, he said, you know what, I'll make your legal notice, you guys, but you have to compile all of the evidence together. Adil and me went over almost 200-300 emails, 6,000-7,000 messages to compile everything in one file. I still have the file to make
We learned one thing which is very important, which I would say to every artist.
yeah.
If you face anything like this, please don't be afraid. There is nothing that anyone can make you do. Anyone in the world, no matter what you've signed, no matter what you've done, unless you are in the wrong, there's no one other than the justice system of the country. No one can really make you do anything. Don't be afraid of anybody, because we are just like, no matter what we've achieved as musicians, we are just very simple city people. And we faced off against some really, really notorious, like borderline criminal people. But, as long as you are in the right and you use your mind, like use your brain a little bit, like it's not nice to be foolhardy and go fight with people either. But if you can maneuver your way out of a situation, please don't be afraid. Keep your mind cool and just get out of stuff. And don't sign anything ever in your life.
And if you do sign, this is like piece of advice to people, because people at some point have to sign with other people. Otherwise, basically opportunities come to a standstill. 90% of the contracts that you are going to see are going to be one-sided. And if they are one-sided, it's good for you, because that just means they are not executable.
Right.
A contract has to be much more detailed, and it has to consider both sides. 99% of the contracts musicians are given are one-sided contracts, giving them nothing, and they generally don't even have an exit clause.
Right.
So that contract cannot be executed. So don't be afraid. I wouldn't say sign it, try to avoid it, but if you can't, just remember that people really, I hope they can't do stuff. Depends. Be careful.
This is a very important piece of advice for our audiences and viewers who are going to watch this also. Please mark every word that you're listening, because music is not that easy. I mean, there are these kind of struggles that are involved. And before I move to the next song, I mean, you guys like the food and drinks, whatever you're having.
Yeah. I will really like this.
I'm very afraid to ask Bubbla, because he's such a great cook. I mean, I don't know what he's going to say about
its
the
food. Is really nice. I'm not a great cook. I'm just a home cook.
The next song, if you can talk about a little bit, is the same from the same setup, I guess.
So this next song is also part of that same Hindi, like rock-ish project that I've been writing. I don't know how we'll execute it, but then anyway, we'll try some of it. ले चले हवाओं में रास्ते नए, तुम में हम थे खोए से पहले। क्यों बने फिर फासले, दूर है जो
जो पास थे, क्या कमी थी राह में, दोनों कहीं खो गए। या तुम गुम हो या हम गुम हैं, बढ़ते रहे फासले। ले चले दिशाओं में आहटे तेरे, तुम में हम थे खोए से रहते। क्यों बने फिर फासले, दूर है जो पास थे, क्या कमी थी राह में, दोनों कहीं खो गए। या तुम गुम हो या हम गुम हैं, बढ़ते रहे फासले। या हम गुम हैं, बढ़ते रहे फासले। या तुम गुम हो या हम गुम हैं, बढ़ते रहे फासले। गुम हो या हम गुम हैं, बढ़ते रहे फासले।
Beautiful. We want to hear this recorded and produced and out soon, right, guys?
Thank you.
That's what rock and roll does. That's all right, I think. So yeah, we would love to hear these songs definitely, and we are closing in for the last bit of the interview session. So yeah, I mean, you guys have traveled like throughout India and all that. So
Yeah.
tell us about those travel stories. I mean, the weird stories, the memorable incidents that you'll never forget in your life. I mean, things that can happen on stage, I'm sure. I saw one video where EP was right on your shoulders. So tell
that's
us about these
something-
things a little bit.
So we had a show in Rajasthan. This was in 2012, and this is one of the this place
He's
is
already
called
laughing.
yeah, this place is called Lakshmangarh. Okay, this place is, you get off where do you Jaisalmer, no.
It's in between Delhi and Jaipur.
Yeah, in between Delhi and Jaipur. It's farmland with a huge university there, with only girls studying there.
Silence.
So
Everyone's listening to you.
it's the craziest place in India, and it's the best place for a band to play, because we had a great time there in Lakshmangarh, because we weren't expecting anything like that. We went there and we thought that it would be a regular college. This is a university of 5,000 students and 5,000 women with no other guys except the 4 of us. Wow. 5 of us. So it was a really good experience for years after also.
Anything that's really memorable in Calcutta, because since we all are from here, I mean there are so many venues now. So
Our best memories are from West Bengal. I wouldn't say Calcutta because Calcutta is
West Bengal, yeah.
This year, I think we played Presidency Milieu for the first time.
Yes.
For the first time since the band started, and it was one of the best
gigs ever
we've ever had.
Also, Kalyani University.
Oh my God, the fan following that we have in Kalyani is
incredible. Kalyani, Durgapur.
I mean, it's craziness over there. They follow our personal lives. They follow who we're dating, what we're eating, and personally all of us. And it's so great because in a place like Kalyani, we get so much of warmth and so much of affection from people, and it's genuine. It's not just because they've seen us on TV, because they follow our social media posts, they comment on our pictures, and they come to the show and they'll wait. In fact, it rained once and they waited like the entire the Boi Mela.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest gigs in West Bengal. They organize a fest every year which is called the Kalyani Boi Mela, and it's less about the Boi Mela and just about the concert. And rock and roll culture, I believe it's there in West Bengal. Outside Calcutta, Calcutta goes to sleep at 9. You can't play a gig at 10. We played a gig with Anupam Da, Fossils and us. We went on stage at 4 in the morning. Whoa. Anupam Da started the show. The show started at 2, and Fossils went on stage at 6.
In the morning. Wow.
So it's basically a fest that never stops. Something that IIT, KGP used to be.
I was just thinking about IIT only.
But they don't do that anymore. But here we literally have, and Kalyani University has separate departments having fests who are calling in bands, and they have a crazy lineup. So, and even like colleges in Durgapur, Kalyani, Bardhaman. So we actually play much more crazy gigs outside Calcutta than in Calcutta. Calcutta, we have played JU, yeah.
The big colleges have like the Calcutta colleges are great. I mean, see, I've been in JU for a while, and I have so many friends there, and the JU crowd is amazing. Presidency is amazing. Your college, Ashutosh College. We played there recently.
Yeah.
After the pandemic, we played for them also. It was amazing.
I think I saw you guys play in Umang where Krishno was singing with you.
Yeah.
Yes, give it away. I think that was the song you guys were playing, right? I have memory. Yeah, wow. So yeah, I mean, actually certain songs I remember by heart. I mean, I remember the song called Burnout by Weapon Shop. I remember Microphone by UA. I remember Realize. Of course, you guys have made a lot of songs. There was a song regarding which we did an interview in Bombay for Midday about some 360-degree video you guys were shooting.
Gypsy.
That was another song.
It's the first 360 video by a band, and now the video's off YouTube. I don't know why.
Okay. After UA, a lot of bands started following the UA template also. So to all those bands who are following that template, or even the ones who are not, what would be your advice to the people in the indie scene here? How can they make it better in terms of their musicianship, and also a little bit about the gigs and the events and things that happen? Just want to know how you guys think about the whole thing.
First thing I would tell bands who are stop following us, because it's there's a reason why I'm saying that, because the sound, even the covers that Underground Authority has made over the years has been made with certain thought. It's not just taking in Bollywood songs and playing drums, bass, guitar on it. That is what a lot of bands are doing, and in turn what is happening is they're compromising on their musicality, their musicianship. You should be playing music, you should be growing, you should be developing as a musician, and all this happens much faster and in a much more organic manner when you're in a band.
I think one of the most important things that people should think about is play to your strengths.
Yeah.
You are only as good as the weakest member of your band. Yeah. So no matter how good you can sing, if your drummer is not playing properly, you're going to sound bad. No matter how good you play the drums, if your bassist is not locking with you, it's going to sound bad. So I think that's what we did. We make our music not because we want to make great music
or become popular.
We choose our songs based on musicality and what will make the 4 of us or the 3 of us sound good. that's why we choose to do what we do, and I think that's the code. I think everybody does that because music is not a meritocracy. I mean, it's being good does not mean you're gonna make it.
It's a very nice word I learned today, meritocracy.
Yeah.
People will always tell you that there is no money in music. Oh no, you have to put things down. You have to put your rate down. Understand something, that if there are a lot of people telling you that there is no money in music and they are doing music as a business, there's something wrong. They're lying to you, basically. So when you're choosing your vendors, when you're choosing your event managers, when you're choosing the people that you want to work with, be very careful, because remember something, you are the talent. You are the reason why people are coming and why people are paying money, and you are basically the act. And people, it's very easy for an event manager to come and tell you that, you're easily replaceable. So bands should believe in themselves, and belief comes from trust and practice. Also, this new sound that Underground Authority has right now has been developed solely because our guitarist left. We had another guitar player in the band and he left, and there was a void. We were sounding empty. So it's because of a lot of, trying things and things not working out.
The only reason why the three of us are playing with like a rapper right now is because we couldn't find a vocalist, honestly.
Yeah,
we were looking
it's
for
very
a vocal
true.
because we had no idea about rap music, and then it became a sound. So there are conditions. The only reason why Bubbla is playing bass right now is because I didn't have a bass player before.
It's true.
The only reason why Sourish is playing with us right now is because our drummer left.
Yeah, went for
And
US.
so that's how it happens. And his band didn't work out. Sourish's band didn't work out when he was 17 years old, and he used to come to watch us play. And we had this mutual respect, silent mutual respect for each other
Yeah.
as musicians. But then it just worked out.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 people are trying to rip you off. That's what I'm saying. So
That's right.
Take the money really seriously.
I come from the same time that you guys are. We did not, usher in the era when IG music was there. Reels wasn't there.
It's actually become
Viral
more
videos didn't
difficult.
exist.
It's actually become more difficult and easy, because just because you're viral doesn't mean you're making money. And at the same time, you have to figure out avenues to make money playing your music. So it's very important. I think new musicians have it more tough than we did, because it was a set up at that point of time that
Also sustenance. I mean, we still play songs that we played in 2010, and it still works. So kind of whatever you're doing, and we've it's not like it's the only music we played since 2010. We had a lot of other music that we discarded because it didn't stand the test of time. So be ready to part with your material also. You may not make the best music your first few years of doing it. In music, making money doesn't have anything to do with great songs also. There are many aspects to it. But then so you have to be very balanced. I mean, it takes a lot more courage to discard your thing, that something you've created, than just be a part of something someone else created.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and we are going to be on YouTube very soon, and thanks to Adil, thanks to Bubbla, thanks to Sourish. They've come all the way from South Calcutta to Salt Lake to do this nice little chat session with us. We're going to end with a song, so I'll give it over to them. And if you like what you are going to see on YouTube, what you are seeing on YouTube right now, please go subscribe to our channel, and we are available on Instagram and as well as Facebook. You can check the icons right here on the screen. Thank you so much.
And what will I do when I see you walk out the door? You say it makes sense no more, but darling, how can I go on? Our moments, they've passed, and it seems that you had enough. But how can it be this much? Was it never meant to never? The last thing on my mind are still the thoughts of you and I, and now they're all gone. Now I'm torn up between what was and is. I find this so hard to wrap my head around. I know you had your reasons, made your mind up, it was finally time to move on. Or was it somebody else or something that I said, I guess? you'll never really know now. It's hard for me to give up. Is it hard for you to give in the way our things turned out to be? But did you ever wonder that? What will I do when I see you walk out the door? You say it makes sense no more. But darling, how can I go on? Our moments they've passed and it seems that you've had enough. But how can it be this much? Was it never meant to never? Forget the whole affair, please come back to me. I swear I'll make it alright. I can't bear to wake up without you. I'm sleepless, why can't I just go on without you there? And it's hard for me to give up. Is it hard for you to give in the way our things turned out to be? But did you ever wonder that? And what will I do when I see you walk out the door? You say it makes sense no more. But darling, how can I go on? Our moments they've passed and it seems that you've had enough. But how can it be this much? Was it never meant to last? Never meant to last. Never meant to last. Was it never meant to last? You've been riding on my mind. How can I let you go? If I even lived the past, was it never meant to last? You've been riding on my mind. How can I let you go? Even if we relive the past, was it never meant to last?
Whoa, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who've been here. Thanks to three of them, Bubbla, Soumyadeep rather, Sourish, Adil from Underground Authority. And if you like this episode, please click on the bell icon. This is being recorded live, so I'm saying it again and again. Click on the bell icon. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much for having us.